Construction workers are the major trend for this financial year's state nomination and also 1 in 9 invitation rounds. It is more like the registered nurse during COVID and early childhood education teachers in the last financial year. It is very likely that this trend is going to last for a bit longer. So hear me out, finish the whole video so that you will understand a bit more about what you need to do to ride this trend. If you're currently offshore, what you got to do. Without further ado, let's get started. Hi guys, just in case this is the first time you see this channel, my name is Johnny. I'm a migration lawyer in Australia and I post daily content on TikTok, Instagram and YouTube Shorts in order to help migrants like you to get updated and to get PR faster. If you haven't hit the subscribe button ASAP so that you don't miss out all the future videos. Construction workers are now in mega demand in Australia. It's ultra high pay, very easy to find work, and the invitation points is just at record low. Currently it is rated at 65 points in the 189 invitation round earlier a few months ago in August. All the trades occupations, for example, carpenters, electricians, plumbers, wall and floor tilers, all these, they are all getting invited at just 65 points. All you need is just one skill assessment, 65 points, and then you can apply for 189. It's very likely that you'll get invited because we have massive labor shortage. The reason why we have it, because we have a housing crisis. As you know, we aren't building fast enough, and it's unlikely that we are going to satisfy the population growth, so it's driving mega hike in rents, and it also driving the property price a lot higher comparing to before. So these are the reasons why Australian governments, they are doing their absolute best to recruit more and more and attract more and more top quality construction workers to work in Australia. This is the first part of this series, which I dive deep enough to explain how to migrate to Australia as a construction worker. If you're a construction worker currently, how do you get permanent residency? If you're not a construction worker right now, how do you become one and move to Australia? In the construction industries, there are multiple different occupations. So there are trades occupations and there are some other non-trades occupations. Only the trades occupations are getting the focus point at the moment. Those are the actual people who are putting up wires, waving the hammers, and then getting stuff done. So there are electricians, tilers, carpenters, plumbers, etc. So the sparkies and all these, they are getting invited at 65 points. But when it comes to trades occupations, there are actually two types of trades occupation you've got to be aware of. Number one is the licensed occupation. For these trades occupations, they are licensed occupations. As the name suggests, you need to have a license when you carry out the work. There are two classes of sparkies. There's the general electrician and the special class electrician. Both of them require license before you commence any work. Number two, plumbers. Only the standard plumbers, not the roof plumbers. Roof plumbers are very different, but standard plumbers, they require license. And number three is air conditioning and refrigerator plumbers. All three require license. So the skill assessment requirement and licensing requirements are very different. And then even if you're working as an employee, so TFN jobs, you will still need to acquire a provisional license. It depends on what states and territories. In New South Wales, it's called tradesperson certificates. In Western Australia, it's probably called a provisional license. So things are very different between states, but it works the same. You need to get a provisional license. It has a validity of 1 or 3 years. And then during these 1 or 3 years, you must complete a transition course so that you can adapt how to work as a plumber or as a sparky or as an aircon person in Australia. And this provisional license is not renewable, so if you couldn't get this done, then you will never get a license. Maybe there's some other workaround, maybe you go to another state and try again, but I'm not an expert in licensing, so you're going to make inquiry. This, you are required to obtain a license before you carry out the work, even if you're working for someone as an employee. So these are the licensed occupation. Number two, there are the non-licensed occupation, all the other tradies. For example, carpenters, tilers, roof plumbers, bricklayer, wall painter. None of these require a license if you're working for someone else, but it will require you to hold a license, a contractor license, if you are going to carry out residential building work for a value of more than $5,000. It's so easy that a contract that exceeds 5,000 Australian dollars. So basically it means that unless you're working for someone, then it's very likely that you need a license. These are the two types of trades occupations in the construction industries. And the other occupations, for example, architects, civil engineers, structural engineers, building engineers, like all these construction draft person, all these like draft persons, quantity surveyor, they're all available. They're all getting invitations, but they're at like 85, 95 points each. So they're not at the 65 point each. So if you're aiming to get invited at 65 points, you need to have a skill assessment as a tradie. In my next video, I'm going to have a very deep dive on what are the skill assessment requirements, what are the licensing requirements, what you got to be aware of, what are the migration pathway for tradies. This is the first part of the 3-episode series. If you want to focus more on this, make sure you hit the subscribe button, like and share this with your friends. If you've got questions, pop in the comment section. I'm Johnny. I'll see you in the next video.